Tropical storm Idalia is rapidly strengthening as it barrels towards Florida. Forecasters expect the storm to grow into a Category 3 hurricane today before hitting the state early Wednesday morning. Idalia is expected to bring heavy rains and dangerous winds. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has ordered states of emergency in dozens of counties and says thousands of people will need to evacuate.
This was a storm that most people at the end of last week were thinking would maybe end up a tropical storm or maybe a Category 1. Almost every time they've updated this over the last couple of days, they've said it's going to get stronger. So buckle up for this one. It's going to be a major hurricane, and we want everybody to make the best decisions they can for themselves and their families. And we're going to be here on the back end to do what we do in terms of the power and the restoration and everything like that.
Joining us now is Michael Brennan. He's the director of the National Hurricane Center. Michael, thanks for joining us at this very busy time. Talk to us about what are the conditions that Florida residents should be bracing for.
Yeah, thanks for having me. The biggest concern is the potential for storm surge. So that's Gulf of Mexico water being pushed onshore by the winds associated with Idalia. Everywhere you see here in orange and red is under a storm surge warning, which means there's the danger of life-threatening inundation of at least 3 feet or more above ground level. But places like Tampa Bay could see 4 to 7 feet of inundation, even more as we go to the north up into the Big Bend, where it's very sensitive to storm surge here between Osceola River and Chassahowitzka, 7 to 11 feet of inundation. So I'm 6 feet tall. That could be water potentially 5 feet above my head. And that's those areas where there may be evacuation orders in place, and people are going to want to heed those orders today as your day to prepare and get out of harm's way.
So, I mean, people know what that looks like because less than a year ago, Hurricane Ian had that level of deadly storm surge. With July having been the hottest on record, I mean, with climate changes worsening, could we expect this to be as bad or worse than last year?
Well, every storm is different, and in these areas up here in Tampa Bay northward, they're going to see a lot more storm surge here than they saw with Ian, because if you remember, the winds were blowing offshore in Tampa Bay during Ian, actually blowing water out of Tampa Bay. The storm surge there was farther south in the Fort Myers, Sanibel Island area. So these areas to the north have not seen this kind of storm surge risk in recent years.
And if that's the case, then people are not used to preparing for this level of a storm. What do people need to do right now to best prepare?
So if you live in a storm surge evacuation zone and you've been asked to leave, you should do so immediately. Just remember, you should try to drive tens of miles, not hundreds of miles. Just get out of that storm surge evacuation zone. If you're going to hunker down in your home and in a safe place to stay, you want to have several days worth of food, water, medicine, batteries. Make sure your devices are all charged. We could be dealing with multiple days of power outages here, especially where the core of Idalia comes on shore, as it's expected to be a major hurricane and moves across portions of interior North Florida. Again, could see long duration power outages. And then we'll also see heavy rainfall, flooding potential across North Florida and up into the southeastern United States.
I mean, I keep hearing, Michael, about just how bad this season is, and I believe that it was expected to be even more prolific storm-wise. How many more of these storms do you expect we're going to witness?
Well, we're expecting a very busy season. We could see up to, this is the 10th named storm of the year. We could see as many as 20 potentially, and we're not even quite at the peak of hurricane season. That comes in the next couple of weeks, but we tend to have most of our activity from mid-August into mid to late October. So again, people are going to have to be aware, have to be ready for the rest of the season to unfold.
Good thing you can save those canned goods for the next one. Michael Brennan, thank you.